Thank you for joining us. Before we get started on today's episode, just a quick reminder to please smash the like button in the bottom right corner and subscribe to Locked On Senators so you can be the first to know when new content arrives. The best way to help us grow is to comment on the video as well. So let us know if this is a player you want the Sens to draft or you think they should stay away from, and let us know why as well. This is one of 64 draft profiles that we're producing, so let's get into it. Coming in at number 10 on our top 64 Locked On Senators draft rankings, we are going to Djurgardens for the final time. I feel like half this list has been from Djurgardens. Jonathan Lekkerimäki. Pilsy, this guy has a bit of Mike Hoffman in him, but the good parts of Mike Hoffman's game.
Yes, yeah, I'm glad you prefaced that, the good parts. And yes, EP Draft Guide, which we've mentioned, we use as a big resource for us. They're now doing a thing where they say shades of this player rather than straight up player comparables, which I think is a good way to do that. And their shades of was Mike Hoffman for Lekkerimäki, and for a good reason. He is an absolute snipe show. Like, this guy has an incredible release. And I mention this all the time, but he is that guy that can just skate down the wing and rip one past the goalie for an easy goal for you. And his teammates know that. They're able to hit him and allow him to have the space to just take that shot. And what I think is best about his shot is he's able to do it from any angle and any kind of body position. He's in stride, he can do it. He's pivoting, he can shoot it. Like, it's just incredible how he's able to get his shot off. And that skill has been highly remarked by scouts if we take a look at the rankings here, Ross.
He's a right shot, right winger, standing just a shade under 6 feet tall, 5'11", 172, and the numbers jump off the page. 20 goals in 26 games with the J20 team with Djurgardens, obviously the same team that has Noah Ostlund, Liam Ogren, and Kalle Odelius. 15 assists for 35 points as well, 8 penalty minutes. And Pilsy, this guy had a hell of a World Under-18 championship. Led the entire tournament with 15 points. Yes, 15 points in 6 games on his way to helping Sweden win the gold medal. Now, the rankings are pretty tight. Like, we've seen some ranges, even with Brad Lambert, Danila Yurov, even guys who are just inching outside of our top 10 that have been in the 20s on some lists. And Craig Button just put out his latest list. He got Brad Lambert in the middle of the second round. That's neither here nor there. But what's all bunched together is where Jonathan Lekkerimäki is seen from our scouts. Scott Wheeler and Chris Peters both have him at 9th on their list. Corey Prodman has him at 11th. Bob McKenzie has him at 12th. Then we just have to scoot down a little bit. Actually, I should mention Craig Button has him at 10 if I missed that. Tony Ferrari at 15 and Elite Prospects at 18, an average of 12. Now, just to go back to the shot, we mentioned Elite Prospects, the lowest on him, and we'll tell you why in a bit, but they have him as the second best shot in this draft, right after Jagger Fergus they have as the number 1 shot in this draft. But Lekkerimäki, you put this guy with Tim Stützle and just sit back and watch the magic unfold.
And I'll even go further, Ross. I think he would be an excellent combination with Drake Batherson as well. So put him with Tim Stützle and Drake Batherson, like, because I would say, like, Drake is your two-way playmaker, right? And then
Timmy, are you putting Lekkerimäki on his off wing then, going the Russian sniper style?
I wouldn't be that against it because his best thing is his shot. And as the Russian snipers tend to play, it's heavy on that shot. So open it up. And the thing with Lekkerimäki is he's able to do that big one-timer on the power play. Like, he's not the kind of guy with the, like, sometimes you say this guy's got a great shot. Well, he's pretty one-dimensional and it's just a great wrist shot. No, not Lekkerimäki. He's got a great slap shot, snap shot, wrist shot. How many more shots are there?
Catch and release, one-timer. Literally anywhere on the ice, he's a threat to score in the offensive zone.
Honestly, yeah. Like, get in the blue line and your chances to score with Lekkerimäki go up big time. And yeah. What I was saying on that line. So Drake Batherson's kind of like your two-way playmaker. Timmy is a much more offensive playmaker that can shoot the puck too, and then get Lekkerimäki on there, the guy that will finish things with his shot. That's an incredible line. And I think Lekkerimäki, you're probably not looking at him as a top line winger just because defensively he lacks a little bit there and he may not be able to hang with the big boys, other teams' top lines and top defensive pairings. But I really think you could see him shine on a second line, 5-on-5, and on a top power play unit.
Yeah, 100%. He's going to make his mark on the power play. That's where he's going to make his money. I like that he's a late birthday as well, July 24th birthday. So he's going to be 18 this entire season upcoming. A little more room for development. I think he probably stays in Sweden. But the problem is, and we've talked about this in the past, the other guys, Djurgardens got relegated, so they're going to be in the Allsvenskan.
But I don't think that's a problem, actually, Ross. I actually think that's a good thing for Lekkerimäki because it seemed like J20, he like as we looked at his stats there, 20 goals in 26 games, 35 points in 26 games. Like he's above that level. But then SHL, 9 points in 26 games. Probably maybe a little too much for him. I think the Allsvenskan League is the right spot for him for one more season. Like he wouldn't stay there for 2 seasons, that's for sure. And maybe he ends up moving up to a team that is in the SHL later on in that season. But I think sometime in the Allsvenskan League would make some sense and do some good for Lekkerimäki.
Yeah, he's also got good speed. Like we talked about his shot, it's a defining attribute of his.
Yes,
Number
definitely.
one, good hands though, good speed, great vision, clean entries. Like he's a guy who you want the puck on his stick coming into the zone. Kind of like think peak Mike Hoffman. He did more than just score. He was able to carry the puck up and make plays through the neutral zone to create speed when you're entering into the offensive territory. So I love what Lekkerimäki brings in his toolbox, and I think that he'd be a great fit for the Ottawa Senators. I've got him at 4 stars. I think that there's going to have to be some patience in his development. I think that he's probably 3-4 years away from making an impact at the NHL level. Maybe the late birthday has something to do with it. But I think with patience, it's going to pay off because as you saw in the biggest moments he had this season, the under 18s, he brought his best set of tricks. So I really like Lekkerimäki, 4-star guy for me.
Yeah, the thing with Lekkerimäki for me is, and maybe you found something, Ross, I wasn't able to find anything on his game defensively, which either tells me it's irrelevant or very bad. Like, it's obviously not good. Otherwise, they'd be praising him. So that's one thing where I've kind of got some red flags. But I mean, if you're an offensive sniper, that's fine.
Well, I got some quotes here from elite prospects when I was watching their draft meeting, which is always a great tool. It's on YouTube. Says that he's got a little trouble using his teammates in the offensive zone. I mean, when you have a shot the way he does, just put it on net. And if you're a teammate, just say, hey, if I go to the net and get a rebound, just consider that a pass. Man, Jimmy Hamlin from Elite Prospects compared his shot and said it was better than Alexander Holtz from a couple of drafts ago. Like, that's enormously high praise. And he says he's very good at what he's good at. So it's almost like his weaknesses, he's able to kind of put them aside because he's so good at what he does properly. And he knows that. So that's what he's trying to create his entire game around. How can I catch and release? How can I get the puck in the right areas to score? So I would say that the one issue, and I think it was Pronman that mentioned it, that sometimes he'll drift the perimeter a little too much within the course of a game. But I feel like with development, you can kind of coach that out of players and just be like, hey, instead of coming out on the wing, kind of put a little angle to it and end up at the top of the crease. And maybe he'll be forced to do that coming over eventually into the smaller ice rinks. There's obviously a little more room to get lost on the international stage. But I love him. How many stars do you have for Lekkerimäki?
So I've got him at 3.5 stars only because, again, I use the stars as the Sens fit. The Sens famously pass over elite snipers. Like the Sens don't draft guys who are known for their shot and their shot alone.
Well, in the second round, they did it twice in 2020 with Järventie and Igor.
Yeah, but I think that's their strategy later on in the draft.
Yeah, you made a top pick.
Exactly. Yeah, they don't really go for that. They I don't think they were even interested in Zadina in that draft. Like, I don't think it was even a thought to them, which is
he came
hilarious.
He came and visited, but so did Quinn Hughes and so did some other guys. But no, that's fair. They obviously go for the high motor guy more than anything.
That's the thing, right? So I think there you get a bit of a drop off, and I like certain other players more than Lekkerimäki if we're talking about drafting at 7th overall. So I would probably let him go, but I do see the talent, and when you have a shot like that, no matter where he goes, he's going to light it up. So I appreciate it, but I don't think that's the route the Sens are going to take.